All right, what's up, everybody? You want to watch this video? This is going to be an update, but this is some good information. I'm going to show you a couple of my trades, of course, so you can see my live trades and you can verify it on your own charts. Today is June 10th, 2019, so you really want to go ahead and check your charts. You can verify the trades, whatever you want to do, just to make sure that, yeah, his trades were legit. But in addition to that, I have a big concern, and I'll say that towards the tail end. So let's go through the little general steps real quick. Let me move my head out the way. I'll move that over here. So this is the Hang Seng, or the Japanese time, or whatever their symbol is. I don't really care. I just seen a cute setup. As you guys can see, it was right here going across triple arrows. This is the H1. All right, this is the H1 hour. You can see the symbol right here. But I know it's called the Hang Seng or something like that. But either way it goes, I saw my triple arrows, took the trade, and as you can see, I'm up really, really nice right now in two positions. Boom on that one. Let me pull up another setup. I'm in oil. This is a continuation from the one I had last time. I got out because it had went down substantially, and then it pulled back. And as you can see, I'm up, in pips, 86, but in oil, it's 8 pips, same thing, still pretty good. So I seen the triple arrows right here, okay, and on the earlier time frame, because I got in when I saw it on the 15 and 30, but either way it goes, you see the triple arrows, and of course it's dripping. I'm already in profit, so I moved my stop loss in even deeper. I've already closed out some of my position. Which, by the way, a lot of people didn't know you can do that. And I'll teach you that once you join the team. But there's a way for you to, because a lot of people, they use trailing stops, which is cool. They use scaling positions, which is cool. But there's a way where you can just have one position and you can actually scale out the actual position you in. So whatever one position you enter, you can scale out without actually scaling out all the others. So it's multiple, and I do different ones. Okay. I interchange in and out based on how I feel or based on the setup or whatever it is. But you'll learn that if you join the Super Easy family, but that's not the point of the video. So let me quickly finish up with this and get to the actual point. So that's oil. So I'm still doing good on that one. Then you have the AN. This is another one I'm in, sitting pretty nicely. Currently up 25 pips. You see the triple arrows. See where I got in. Price is moving up nicely. And let me get to this one. This was another beautiful one, the GBP NZD, which is a very, very nice one. You can see, let me scale out to a higher time frame. On the 4 hour, you can clearly see the triple arrows came in. I'm currently up 74 pips on that one. So that one is looking very, very beautifully. Okay, H4, GBP, NZD. And you can see things are moving. The market is pretty much slow, about to close for the day in about 15 minutes. See 74.4. So you can see it's moving, but it's real slow because, again, it's 347 or 447, which means in about 13 minutes the market's going to close for the day and reopen. But you can see it's moving, and let me show you this one. This one I've been holding patiently. It's just teeter-tottering around from last week. As you can see, triple arrows on the GJ, the Dragon, GBP, JPY. You can see got in right here, clean and clean. And it's just consolidating right here. I'm waiting for it to make its move, because if I pull the charts back, going all the way back, and let me unlock them first. And just so you know, to unlock your charts, go to charts, click on auto scroll, and unclick that button, and you can pull it over. And if I move my head out the way this time, this way, you'll be able to see it. The last time it did this, that was on March 18th. You can see triple arrows came in, and it dropped, consolidated, came back up a bit, and then boom, you see this big old drop right off the mountain. Wow, all the way down. That's why I'm not in a hurry to touch this one. I'm going to sit patiently, and if I do this, shrink it to its maximum size, you'll see how many pips it was. It's real tight, but I just want to measure from top so you guys can see it from entry where I would have got in to entry where I got in at. that would have been 1,055 pips off of one trade. Woo! And that was running from March 12th until now, June 10th. One trade, okay? If you felt like holding it that long. But hey, that's a lot of pips. Over 1,000 pips on the GBP pair. That's a lot of money too, okay? So that's why I'm not in a rush to touch this one. I'm letting it do what it do and just leave it alone. Some trades I do short term because people ask, can you use the system on short terms like 15 minutes and so forth? Yes, absolutely. Let me show you an example of that. There was a trade that I was in this morning on this one here. Let's go to the 15 minute. And I got in, got out. Triple arrows on the 15 minute, got a little couple of pips, and then I dipped out. Okay, and we have a strategy specifically for that. So as you can see, yeah, pip and dip. Okay, that's not what it's called, but that's what I did. I got my little pips out of here and was done with this one on the shorter time frame. So you can use it on shorter time frames, longer times, doesn't matter. Let me see. Oh, here's another one. Let me see. We did oil. We did that one. Okay, now let me show you what we're actually doing this video for. It's fun that you can make these pips because you understand what's going on when you have our system. But here's the concern. All right, so let me go to this right here. So as you can see, I'm currently took 2 positions, and this is the US 30. Okay, and let me increase the size of that symbol so that you guys can see it. Give me one quick second. Let me go to my settings. I need you guys to see this. Okay. All right. All right, let's go here to the font size. All right, let me make that a little bit bigger. I'm gonna make it 20 so you guys can see it really, really big for yourself. Now it's gonna possibly clutter up a couple of things that I don't want, but it's okay. I need you guys to see this, okay? All right, let me right click and click refresh. All right, so you can clearly see this is the US 30, okay? US 30, and let me do this. All right. All right, there we go. All right, so now you can see this is the US 30 in the Forex market. That's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Of course, I just got in recently on this one. Why? Because you can see this is the 15 minute, has triple arrows on it. But that's not the only reason why. Let me show you what's concerning me. Not for me and our group as traders, but for you who have these 401ks, IRAs, and all those kind of things. Let me show you what's concerning to me. I'm going to go all the way to the daily chart first. Okay, and you can clearly see it has triple arrows here, right? And I went over this time and time again from the time it failed the first time. Now it did a pullback, which is cool. That's nice. So a lot of people are feeling very confident about the market and their stocks. They're like, woo, I dodged a bullet, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, they tell you, hey, hold for the long haul. Apparently they're right, correct? Why? Well, you were wrong. See, the stocks fell, but it did bounce right back. And see, now I can sit comfortably and it's going to shoot through the moon. See, I told you don't worry about it. This guy, he's a bunch of crap and blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Time out. Let me show you what's concerning. Okay. Let me show you what's concerning. All right. First of all, when they did that the last time, see that? Bounce right back, hit here, and then it dropped off the map, right? Doing the same thing here. Triple arrows, drop back, settles down, and then boom. But that's not even bigger. I'm going to show you more evidence what's concerning for me. Let's go to the weekly charts. What is the weekly? You can clearly see, for those who do trade in the markets, what do you see? What do you see? What do you see? This is the weekly charts. That means that this thing, if it drops, okay, this is the triple arrows right here off the weekly. You can see why from the weekly, why it's doing what it's doing on the lower time frames. It dropped down, did a pullback, made everybody fuzzy and warm. But what do you see? What do you still see? That it got stopped right here in this barrier area, in this zone right here, which means it ain't went no further. It touched right here, dropped down, pulled back a bit. But as you can see, what direction is this showing you? You can't get confident. Okay, you can't get confident. This is the weekly charts. So that means if this thing drops, you can see why I jumped in very heavily with a couple of nice positions. You can see what I'm looking at. But I'm trying to share with you, don't get caught up in these little short-term pullbacks where you called your broker up and you say, oh, see, and he just said, oh, see, I told you, don't worry about it. It's all good, right? But you can see this for yourself, loved one. Okay, it came right back. Right here, touched, triple topped, boom, 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 triple topped. And the triple top equals a what? A drop in my business, okay, in my opinion. Triple top equals a drop. So it touched up in this zone 3 times in the weekly. And that means what? It ain't went nowhere. So if we look from where it started on the weekly charts, and I'll give you the dates, you can verify this on your own if you trade in the markets. That means from January 2018, it went right up in the same exact zone each time. And every time it tried to break above it, it couldn't. And therefore, you're looking at what? If it can't go up, where else is it going to go? And you can clearly see why I entered where I did very heavily, very comfortably. I'm in this position. I know where this is going. You can guess, you can listen to them, but I'm just saying when this thing shot back up and it gave the breather on the daily time frame, let me show you again, because this is where people are comfortable. This move right here where you're getting real comfortable because it pulled back up, when you look at it from even the weekly, it tells you even bigger story. You can see where it hit on our system. We know these dots, what they represents. Okay, so it hit right on this dot, as you can clearly see. And on the daily, you can understand why it pulled back. It hit this dot, shot right back up. But where is it? Did it ever even reach up here? No, it didn't even pull back up here. So now you can see I'm in positive territory on my two positions already. Why? Because if I drop down to the 15-minute chart for an entry, you can see exactly why I'm short in this position. Right where it is. Triple arrows on the 15. You know I'm going to ride this thing down. But unfortunately for a lot of people, guess what? The problem is they're being told one story when all the other brokers and everybody who really trades in the market, they know the true situation of what could potentially happen. Now, could we be completely wrong? Absolutely, we could be completely wrong and this thing can shoot to the moon. And I really, to be honest with you, and I'm being honest, honestly, I hope I am wrong. I don't mind losing trades myself, okay? Because this is just nothing but another trade to me, not a big deal, right? So if it loses, man, who cares? It's just another trade. I got plenty more, as you can clearly see, that are winning. But I'm showing you what's really going on behind the scenes, because a lot of you guys, you listen to the CNBC, Jim Cramer, and all these other talking heads who's on there, who's saying one thing, but they're really not showing you the truth. Your brokers and all the higher investors who have $1 million portfolio, multi-million dollar portfolios, they're telling their investors on that level one thing. But if you just have a normal 401k or IRA, I'm helping you to see what could potentially happen. Again, I'm just saying potential because could I be wrong? Could our chart system be wrong? It could be. It could be wrong. But based on what I'm showing you, I just want you to see it with your own eyes. Okay? I really do. Because what if I'm right? That's the concern. What if I'm right? So what could you do? All right, let's talk about that. Okay, let's get these charts out of the way. Okay, I'm going to make this screen dark so you can just focus on me. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Get that on out of here. Give me a second. Okay, we'll just leave it at there. Just a plain old chart, okay? Because the market's about to close anyway, so who cares? So let me talk to you. What could you do in this situation? There's a couple of things you could do, and I'll wrap this up. Number one, and I said this many times before, and again, I'm not your financial advisor, so contact them about this stuff, verify whatever, but I'm just giving suggestions because I'm not a licensed broker or anything like that. I'm just a fellow person who's trying to protect their money just like you. If I was in your shoes, let me do it like that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if I was in your shoes, what I would be doing, I would be calling my broker. And I'll be saying, you know what, things are looking a little uncertain. And I know you're telling me, hey, you know how the market is, you just wait a little bit. And, after a while, the market will do what it do. And, and all these different things, it's just the market and da. I hear you, sir. But what I would prefer to do, what I want to do, I want you to move some of my portfolio into cash, if not 90% of it. Just get me out of the market temporarily for a little while. Let me make sure that this storm that I'm hearing may come is out of the way. Until the uncertainty is out of the market, just take me out of some of my positions so I can be certain that I won't lose just in case the market does go down in the next few weeks or a few months, okay? So that's called moving your money to cash. The other thing you could do if you're deep in profit on some positions, you can tell them, hey, I want to put in a protective order or a stop loss order. In other words, if you bought a stock at $100 and now the price of the stock has jumped up to $200, tell them, hey, put in me a protective order or protective stop at $170, $150, $180, whatever you decide. So in case price drops, and comes back down against your position, it will stop you out and you'll still be in profit versus losing your whole 401k or IRA and getting completely wiped out. Okay, because that's the most hurtful thing, to know that you were deep in profit, had retirement money, and then all of a sudden, guess what? The stock collapsed and it wipes you out to zero. So you can prevent that by putting in what's called a stop loss order, a protective order. Many different brokers have many different languages, but either way it goes, it's just saying, hey, if I'm in profit, I want you to lock in some guaranteed money. That's the whole point. In other words, like for this one, go back to oil. Okay, just to show you an example of what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, this green line right here represents my entry. As you can see, this red line represents my stop loss order. So that means if this price comes back against me, I'm not going to lose money on my original entry. I'm actually going to still make money. I may not make all the money that it could potentially do, because this thing could potentially come back down to where I believe it could go. It could drop even more to here, right? It could. But just in case it comes back up, what it's going to do, it's going to hit my stop loss order or my protective order, so that I'm going to make money no matter which way. It's just a matter at this point, how much am I going to make? But it is not about am I going to lose some money, because I'm already in profit. So why gamble the profit money I made in exchange for the fact that this thing can clearly go back the other way, right? So that's what it's all about. That's what a stop loss or a protective order does. It just protects your profit to make sure that if it goes nuts, you're not going to lose everything. Okay, so for an example, and I'll show you this last thing and then we'll be done with this video. So for an example, let's go back to the daily. Okay, so let's just say that, you made money going all the way up from here. Okay, all the way up from here, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. So you can call your broker and say, hey, put in a protective order for me so that, hey, if price breaks below this zone right here or this price, and I can't tell you what that is, that's for you and the broker to have a discussion. But if price drops too far below this area right here, then get me out. Okay. Or if you want to say below here. Okay. And if we move my head out of the way and I'll put a line right here. Okay. Because that'll be a support area. Okay. A level of support. Okay. We'll just put a line right there. So you just tell the broker, hey, if the price drops below this zone area right here. Okay. Right here, because this is where it bounced back up and it'll seem like a level of support just like it was back here. But if it happens to break below this, get me out. I want to be out of here. I don't want to hold it for a total loss, because I made money going from here to here. So at least no matter what, I'm guaranteed to make money if it hits in this area. So even if it falls back down and it hits this area, I'm guaranteed from here to have made money. But wouldn't it be something which is going to happen to a lot of people if the market drops, if I could be wrong. But what if it does? What's going to happen is it's going to drop all the way down, and all that money that they made from here to here, all this from here to here is going to be gone. Just like what happened before in 2007, 2008, and 2009 when the market collapsed, and all that money that people had built up, it was just gone in no time, because they didn't have one simple thing. And literally it takes the broker no more than about 30 seconds to do this. Did you know that? With most brokers, I know when I'm trading my accounts, literally for me to put in a protective order, it takes me nothing like that. It just like that. It takes less than a minute to do, for them to look at it and say, okay, we'll put you a protective order. I want to protect 20% of my investment or 30%, or whether, just give them a percentage or whatever you want to say. I don't know. I'll let you have that conversation, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm saying it again. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your broker. I'm not your broker. I'm not your broker. I'm not your financial advisor. But I'm just telling you, if it was me in your shoes and I made all this kind of money, okay, I see price bounce from here. And a lot of times you're not going to know this unless you have the triple arrow system, and that, which is why I told you over and over again, if you don't purchase the system just for nothing more than to understand what's going on with your 401k, I believe it's worth the price of the little small fee, okay? And the price is online, so just go there. But at least you can monitor what's going on with your own portfolio just by using the system with your own eyes, right? But here's the point. If price comes back down and it begins to drop like a rock, because this looks like, I ain't gonna even say, I'll leave it alone. I know what pattern this looks like to me, which means it's still, just because it bounced up, I still don't feel good about it if you was on the buys area, but it's cool. But the point is, if it continues to drop and it breaks this line, you're automatically going to be taken out. So while everybody else, if the price continues to drop on the next couple of weeks or months, in years, if the price continues to go over this way, over the next several, trading days, you guaranteed to make US some money. Because here's what happened. You made it right here. And if it comes back and drop past this line, you're out. It's just that simple, right? That's all. No big deal. Hopefully this helped. Okay. But I was just looking at the daily and the weekly, and I really am not a person to trade the weekly charts at all because it's too far out. But I do glance at it every once in a while, but especially for this, because I know people's 401ks, and this is scary. I'm just not going to lie to you. This is the triple top. And typically in the markets, when you have a triple top, there's soon to be a drop. That's what happens. So this little short-term recovery, if I move this line one more time, you see this dot that came in, and I know what it represents, and the people who trade with us, we know what this represents. You knew that this bounce was going to happen. You just know. But once it did happen, it didn't break the structure of what's going on up here. You still see this triple top is still in place. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to end the video. Hopefully this helps.